Hi, Bart. Cathy? Cathy?
To call Cathy's marriage a cross-cultural union would be an understatement. It ran against the grain of all rational exploits and eventually made for one of the most horrific tales of deceit, exploitation, and torment. For the past few years, the Philippines has seen remarkable improvements in its economy under the leadership of President Benigno Aquino. In the first quarter of 2013, it ranked as Asia's fastest growing economy, with a growth rate of almost 8% in its gross domestic product. Yet despite stellar results in its emerging economy, the Philippines remains saddled with a legacy of decades of poverty and the prospect of further inequitable growth. For the 10% of Filipinos living in extreme poverty, the country's newfound prosperity has meant virtually nothing to them. Poverty is a huge, sad reality, especially in the rural parts of the Philippines, which is home to about half the country's total population, and where close to 80% of the country's poor dwell. A study by the Asian Development Bank revealed that approximately 18 million Filipinos continue to live below the poverty line of less than 50 pesos a day, and with an unemployment rate of 7.5% recorded in April 2013. The prospects of finding a job in order to break out of the poverty cycle remain bleak. Like many rural Filipinos, Cathy craved an escape from a life of poverty. While she held a job at a departmental store, wages were low and escape was improbable without going out on a limb and taking a serious gamble.
Hi, Tay. Basta po. Ito po yung sweldo ko.
For Cathy and many rural Filipinos alike, the gamble would entail marrying a wealthy foreign man. Marriage was far more achievable than landing a decent paying job, and a whirlwind marriage was seen as Cathy's ticket out of the Philippines and from a life of poverty.
It's because of the situation. No? Most of the Filipina women are living below poverty line. One of the things that they would see is that if you marry a foreigner, it's something good. Your future will be okay. That's why most of them would think that if you go abroad, and it's a way of going out of the country. That's why some of the women opted to choose to have a foreigner husband or to have a relationship with other foreigners because they think it's for greener pasture or to have more comfortable life, because the population of the Philippines is living below poverty line.
In the ballooning marketplace for marriage, the aspirations of Filipino women like Cathy to marry a foreign man are conveniently matched by a rising demand for mail-order brides.
Sana magkaroon ako ng ibang pumunta sa buhay, yung mga ibang bansa.
Alam mo, meron akong kakilala, mayaman siya. Tapos marami rin siyang mga kakilalang mayaman. Baka pwede ka lang, tapos pangasawa ka, para maging bongga naman yung buhay mo.
Hindi nga.
Oo.
Mayroon ba yan?
Totoo. Papakalala kita.
Sige.
Filipino brides are popular among men from developed countries, such as the United States, Canada, Australia, and Germany. In recent years, however, Japan and South Korea have seen an increase in the number of mail-order brides entering their shores. The demand is conspicuous in South Korea, where the rising social status of South Korean women has seen a surplus of middle-aged and rural Korean men struggling to find a wife. With little hope of finding a partner of their own nationality, poorer South Korean men looked to developing Asian nations to secure a life partner.
Yeah, we have that.
Marriage brokers serve as a link in mail-order bride syndicates.
All right.
An anti-mail order bride law was passed in the Philippines in 1990, making it illegal for brokers to carry out any mail-order bride transactions. Despite this, brokers continue to operate in the most crafty circumstances, circumventing the law and doing a thriving business.
There is a law there prohibiting the mail order bride. It is illegal. But then there are circumstances that laws are circumvented by these people because it is also of the liking of Filipinas. They just want to get out of poverty, financial support, and that's why they get married here or they get married in their place.
With the promise of a better life just a few forms and signatures away, Cathy fell prey to the dreams and schemes unfolding at such an opportune time. "3,000 kilometers away, Park, a lonely 42-year-old farmer from Cheongnam in South Korea, sits sifting through files in one of the most complicated moments in his simple life, that of choosing his life partner from mere photographs. Then suddenly the conundrum is solved. Park sets his eyes upon a snapshot of a young Filipino woman, and at that single moment is smitten and settles on Cathy for his wife.
I think Korean men choose Filipinas to marry because they would just follow orders. Filipina women are a little bit subservient. They obey. And we have this kind of culture that you are always at the authority of men.
With the help of the marriage broker, it was not long before Cathy met Park for the very first time. He was cordial, and though not quite her idea of a Prince Charming, Park managed to pass off as a rather distinguished person, aided no doubt by a smart suit and some dress accessories. Cathy was all meekness, dressed in her best frock. She was exactly what Park desired, a docile and submissive partner.
Hi, Park. Cathy, and Cathy is Park.
Like most marriages brokered by illegal agents, Cathy was not told anything about where Park resided, or what he did for a living. And even where information was offered, much was lost in the broker's indifferent and erroneous translation.
Kasi yung desisyon niya, wala naman kaming magawa yon. Kagustuhan niya, kami pumapayag lang kami sa gusto din niya kasi naghahangad din yun na ang sa kanya yun, baka sakaling mayaman din, siguro ang iniisip niya yun, mayaman din ang maasawa niya, kaya yun siguro ang desisyon niya na mag-asawa siya ng mga foreigner, ganyan.
Cathy and Park went out for a few dates in an attempt to seal the relationship. It didn't take much longer before they took the final step to legally committing to each other as man and wife. In just 2 weeks, Cathy was on her way to South Korea with her husband, where a life of bliss and prosperity beckoned.
Ingat ka, mahal kita.
Or so she thought. It did not take long for reality to hit home, and for Cathy to experience the shattering of her illusion of a good life in a distant and foreign household. For Park, merely a poor farmer, is far from being Cathy's ticket out of poverty. Even worse, along with her disenchantment, within just hours of her arrival, Cathy ran smack into the bane of most newly wedded brides, a disgruntled and pugnacious mother-in-law.
최나웨이, 조리버리스 없니?
어머니, 제 아내 캐티예요?
그 애가 걸로만 난 가지가 있으면 좋겠구나.
Sa pag-alam ko po sa asawa ni Cathy, kasi nang habang hindi pa sila nakaalis na pumunta yon sa amin, hindi kasi kami magkaintindihan kasi hindi naman makaintindi yun ng English. Sinyas-sinyas lang kami. Pero sa pag-alam ko, medyo mabait naman siya. Kasi may edad na. Ang ano ko lang, hindi raw siya gusto yung biyanan niya. Kasi habang nasa Korea siya, may sinasabi siya sa amin, Mama, Papa, hindi kami magkaintindihan ng biyanan ko.
Katie, 차 좀 내어고라. 차.
Ang unang nag-abuso sa kanya talaga yung biyanan niya na babae. Kasi habang tumatawag siya sa amin, sinasabi niya, Mama, ganito, ang sama ng ugali ng biyanan ko. Yung asawa niya, sinabi niya sa amin, okay naman. Parang mahal na naman siya.
이게 뭐야? 맛이 이상하잖아. 세게 가져와라.
Virtually marooned in a foreign land, with neither family backing or social support, mail-order brides experience firsthand a chasm of cultural differences, exacerbated by language difficulties. The mail-order bride then becomes an easy target of abuse.
이게 무슨 요리야? 한국 음식도 아니잖아.
International marriage is more difficult to maintain the marriage, so we should understand the culture of other country. We should try to learn other culture, and we should try to understand the spouse. But so I think that we should have more education for the bridegrooms.
A year had passed, and Cathy had become pregnant. Seemed to be fulfilling her role as a wife to continue the Park family lineage. Cathy detected a change for the better in her mother-in-law's attitude towards her. Alas, it was just to be another illusion, and a greater hurdle awaits Cathy.
차.
감사합니다.
It was not an easy pregnancy, and due to complications, Cathy had to undergo a caesarean section instead of a natural birth. The procedure and extended days of hospital stay amounted to a hefty bill of $3,000.
왜 이렇게 옛년 변년 네가 비싸? 너네 돈 언제 값수거니? 상관없어. 내 돈 모두 틀려주기만 하면 돼.
For a poor farmer like Park, there was no way he could fork out such a large sum of money. At his wit's end, Park had no choice but to turn to his mother for financial help. It was yet another contentious episode, and tensions started to rise again between Cathy and her mother-in-law. The joy of having a newborn in the family did little to appease Cathy's mother-in-law, who was incensed about being owed money by her son.
너 내 돈 언제 값수거니?
저 돈 없어요.
제가 저 하는 거 시키면 되잖아.
With an additional mouth to feed, Cathy and Park struggled to make ends meet. With a mother constantly harping on his debt and other financial pressures building up daily, Park was at breaking point.
뭐? 내 어머니 마루하니?
Masamang tao siya.
모르시고 여자야?
A business transaction is at the foundation of each mail-order bride wedding. When money, instead of love, is the pivotal point, the marriage eventually degrades to the point that, for some couples, the union is akin to involuntary servitude and near prostitution.
안녕하세요, 선씨. 제가 당신 저를 애워드려요.
Being a bride with a price tag, Cathy was reduced to being a commodity, subjected to the preposterous authority of her husband. It was the beginning of Cathy's career nightmare, and a far cry from her dream of a decent life as a mail-order bride. Her pleadings with Park, her husband, to spare her from the revolting trade, proved futile, making a total mockery of what was already a sham marriage.
If they don't follow orders, they would be subjected to different kinds of abuses. Sometimes they could not even eat, or they would just eat the things that were given to them, but they would not be allowed to do other things. No? They will be confined at home, or they will be isolated.
Hello, Itay. Sunduin mo na ako dito. Tulungan mo ako. Gusto ko na po umuwi.
Sa Omwa, DFA, may isang tao na nilapitan namin. Habang nasa Korea na yung anak ko na nasa hospital na laging tumatawag sa amin ng mamakaawa, kinukontak namin yung DFA na si Wilbert na kung pwede, tingnan nyo yung anak namin sa Korea, kung ano na nangyari na, kasi nagmamakaawa sa amin. Ilang beses kami pabalik-balik sa DFA. Pero mo ang layo, Valenzuela, nagpa-promise lang sa amin na okay na yung anak mo, nakita na namin doon. Okay na, nasa hospital siya, kapapanganak niya lang kasi.
Wives from among mail-order brides often find it hard to reach out for help, surrounded by a sea of unfamiliarity, with no lifeline support and facing insurmountable language barriers. Many are buffeted by indifference, open discrimination, and extreme cases, sexual abuse.
Parang ginawa siyang isang prostitute doon sa Korea. Kaya parang na-depress siya kaunti ng isip niya. Pero kahit ganun siya, medyo na-depress siya kasi sa isang araw daw, isang bisis lang siya pakainin. Yun ang sinabi niya sa akin. Sinabi ng ate niya sa akin. Tinago ilan sa amin kasi hindi niya siguro gusto masaktan kami ng nanay niya eh.
The daily abuse was wearing Cathy down, and inexorably taking a toll not just on her physical state, but also on her emotional frame of mind.
Last niyang tawag sa amin, November, nasa hospital kami. Alas 12 yata ng gabi yun. Tumatawag siya sa amin. Iyak na lang na iyak hanggang naubos yung busis niya. Hindi namin maintindihan kung ano nangyari. Tinatanong namin, ano ba nangyari sa iyo anak? Iyak na lang siya na iyak hanggang naubos yung busis niya.
Cathy's ordeal came to a tragic end. She was found motionless in her home with ligature marks around the neck. To this day, the details behind her death remain a mystery. While reports in South Korea state that Cathy hung herself due to depression, Philippine autopsy reports suggest that Cathy died from strangulation.
Nang malaman namin na pinatay yung anak namin, hindi siya nagbigti. Nasyak kami ng asawa ko. Hindi kami makapaniwala sa nangyari.
Cathy's family is currently in talks with Philippine officials, hoping to attain some form of closure to their daughter's death. While progress to the investigations has been slow, Cathy's family harbors the hope that one day justice will prevail.
Sana tulungan nila ako, yung gobyerno natin, maano tong kaso ng anak ko. Hindi pa na anuan ng hustisya yung pagkamatay ng anak ko. Ano pa ako sa Korea, may apo pa ako, yung anak ng anak ko, hindi ko pa nakita hanggang ngayon.
Today, several measures are in place to govern marriage between Filipino girls and foreign men. These measures include a jail term of up to 8 years for illegal marriage brokers. Despite them, the marriage brokering industry thrives, ignoring the adage that marriage without love is immoral. For centuries, married couples have exchanged vows promising a bond till death do us part. For Cathy, this sacred vow was perverted and prematurely fulfilled, the only way out of a vile, loveless relationship, crafted for commercial profit.